10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Nominal.
Tens across the board with Electron's launch off the pad for Synspective's 10 out of 10 mission from LC-1. We're now 42 seconds into flight and approaching our first critical milestone, max Q, or maximum aerodynamic pressure. This is the point where Electron experiences peak aerodynamic loading on its way through Earth's atmosphere and on the way to space. Let's listen in now for confirmation from Mission Control that we've cleared max Q.
Electron is supersonic, approaching max Q.
HVB discharge holding nominal.
Cleared max Q.
And there's the call. Max Q is behind us as Electron continues its way onward to low Earth orbit for Synspective. Electron is now more than 20 kilometers above Earth and traveling at more than 2,500 kilometers an hour, thanks to the thrust coming out of those 9 Rutherford engines at the bottom of the first stage. Coming up shortly will be a rapid sequence of events for Electron. Main engine cutoff, followed by first and second stage separation, and then second stage Rutherford ignition.
First up with main engine cutoff, or MECO, those engines will shut down simultaneously to slow the velocity of Electron just a touch. This very brief coast lowers the dynamic forces at play for stage separation when the second stage is separated from the first stage. That separation event creates a bit of distance over the couple of seconds before the Rutherford engine on stage 2 lights up to continue on with the mission. Let's watch and listen now.
MECO confirmed.
Stage separation confirmed.
Stage 2 ignition confirmed.
Beautiful execution there by Electron with a nice clean MECO, stage sep, and nominal second stage engine start. Very soon we're expecting fairing separation when Electron's nose cone splits and falls away to expose the StriX satellite to space for the very first time. Let's watch this together. You should be able to see the jettison happen on your screen.
Fairing jettison confirmed.
Fairing jettison confirmed, and you're looking at Synspective's StriX satellite attached there to Electron's kick stage, ascending closer towards its operational orbit at 552 kilometers above Earth.
Believe it or not, each one of those fairing halves weighs less than 50 kilograms, thanks to its carbon composite construction. Light enough for a single person to move around on their own, though they'd have a bit of difficulty at the speed Electron is moving right now. More than 8,300 kilometers an hour at climbing more than 141 kilometers above Earth. The second stage will continue on that way for just under 6 minutes longer until it's time to separate the kick stage and StriX satellite into orbit.
Stage 2 propulsion holding nominal.
T plus 4 minutes 30 seconds into the mission now, which means we're about halfway through the burn time of this Rutherford engine on Electron's second stage. Because the runtime for this engine is a lot longer than what it took on the first stage, the batteries powering the motors that drive Electron's electric pumps are draining close to depletion, but we still need batteries to keep the engine running. So what we do next is perform something called the battery hot swap. We essentially disconnect and get rid of the old battery packs that are literal dead weight for the vehicle and connect over to a fresh battery pack that will keep the engine firing all the way through to our next stage separation event. It's the silver battery packs on the right that will fall away, so let's keep a close eye on the screen here to see that moment in real time.
Guidance is nominal, 200 seconds remaining. Throttling down.
HVB discharge holding nominal, approaching hot swap in roughly 30 seconds.
Battery jettison confirmed.
Hot swap successful.
Hot swap confirmed, and that's a nice continuous burn coming from the Stage 2 engine there with that maneuver complete. We've got another 3 minutes or so until the second stage's final actions for this mission, which will be to separate the kick stage with its StriX satellite and set it on a course for payload deployment within the hour.
HVB discharge holding nominal.
T plus 7 minutes and 17 seconds on the clock. Electron's second stage is firing beautifully as we expect. Still a couple more minutes to go for this phase of the mission to get the kick stage and StriX satellite into position for payload deployment. The mission will be delivered first to a staging orbit where the kick stage will spend some time coasting around Earth before it can align itself on a circular path that meets Synspective's constellation requirements.
Yep, we have a single engine burn lined up for the kick stage to move out of that phasing orbit, which will take place around 40 minutes after its separation from the second stage. After that, we got a second Curie engine burn to line up the payload for release to its exact 552 kilometer target, all while moving at a nominal orbital velocity somewhere above 27,000 kilometers an hour.
But first up before that, of course, is the final separation event for this mission. Much like what we did with the first stage, we'll be shutting off the Rutherford engine with SECO, or second engine cutoff, before the kick stage is separated from stage 2 to set us off into a staging orbit for the mission. SECO should be coming up shortly now. Let's watch and listen.
Guidance is in terminal, 20 seconds remaining.
SECO confirmed.
Stage separation confirmed.
Nominal transfer orbit achieved.
Beautifully done by the Rutherford engine with a nice clean shutdown on the second stage. And off goes the kick stage, now on its way to prepare for our 10th satellite deployment for Synspective's LEO constellation. We've got about 40 minutes or so in this coast phase of the mission before we come back to the kick stage.
During this coast, the kick stage's flight computer is continuously tracking position and velocity to refine its calculations for the optimal engine burn needed for its circularization and payload deployment. That's coming up at about T plus 53 minutes into flight and should last approximately 2.5 minutes. And then within an hour of liftoff, we'll be deploying the latest StriX satellite to orbit. Join us back here soon to see out the final moments of the mission.